How's it going, guys? This is Wyatt with Marine Outdoors. I know this is a little bit different. There's really no video to this. It's just me talking. But to be honest, my other videos are, it's just a video of me talking. It's not that interesting. So you guys can just listen to this, and I think it'll be okay. Let me know if you like it or not for people who are subscribed. But what this video is about is how we would control animal populations and control wildlife without hunting. That is like the main goal of anti-hunters, is to get rid of hunting, stop the cruelty, stop the killing, because we're just bloodthirsty murderers. And so yeah, that's what we're gonna figure out. How would we do this? And there's actually already systems out there to control this without hunting. Some have been implemented, and most have ended in tragedy of some sort. First, you need to understand that hunting has been done since the dawn of man. It is, a necessity, and it just happens to be what we would call a tool in our modern world to help control animal populations. A lot of people think that we can just let things go and everybody will stop hunting and everybody just leave the animals alone and let them do what they want. But you have to realize, one, it doesn't work like that. We have built around areas of habitat where, this is why the mountain lion in California is now being studied to be endangered, is because we have surrounded habitat with human space, houses, public spaces, where freeways, all that stuff. And those habitats that have been surrounded, they can only support a healthy amount of animals, a certain population of certain species, so that they don't eat out their resources, drink all the water, they don't, and then, have a huge die-off. That's what we're trying to avoid here. And the reason why, even if you got rid of hunting, guess what? The state and the country, the federal government would still have these organizations out here controlling animals, wildlife, natural resources, because it is a resource. Okay, animals are a resource, a food, a hide resource. I mean, there were, even in California, there is still to this day a commercial fur trade. People make money off of animals, believe it or not, guide services, whatever. So the state and the federal government are involved in wildlife and the study and the control of animal populations. Now, if we got rid of hunting, for one, they would not generate any revenue from tags and licensing fees. So now this is a taxpayer burden. Pretty much, 1/3 of DFW's budget is from tags and licenses. If we really had to, we could run DFW off of tags and licenses only. It'd be really tough, and they wouldn't have him, don't get me wrong, but we could probably do it. And so now you're taking away that funding, and now it's a really big taxpayer burden, or it'll just get underfunded where it's not doing its job and protecting the wildlife as it's supposed to be. So there's that one problem right there. Without hunting, this is the way the state would take care of these problems. There's 3 ways that you can do it. You can just have the Department of Fish and Wildlife do the hunting for you, and they would do these programs. They would go out, they would shoot it just like a hunter, but in most instances they would leave it to lay, and they could not consume it, they could not use it for anything. They would just leave it there. And that is seen in other states, and I believe even in California. I can't shoot a specific article to you. Actually, I think the Tule elk here in Point Reyes in early 2000s had a few shot off without, by DFW. But again, don't quote me on that. But in also states like the Sandhill crane, in certain states, farmers could shoot them because they're, invasive to crops and they're destructive to crops. But if they do that, they can't eat them. That is ridiculous. And so that's what ends up happening is the state ends up killing the animals for hunters instead, and they end up just leaving them there. These animals don't go to any good use or anything. So that's not really good, right? At least the hunter is paying money and providing meat for his family and using the hide and using the meat, using the organs. There's so many uses that, I feed all the organs to my dogs. I even feed venison to my dogs every so often. I eat the venison. We use the hides. Come on, what we put this animal to use. The second way, besides DFW just pretty much picking up the tab for hunters, is sterilization. So what they would do is they would figure out some way to sterilize the males of a population to either reduce the amount of males or wipe out the males altogether. Like, say it was for like the pig problem, what they would do is they would then just, cut off all the pigs' nuts that they could find and just start reducing the population that way if they did the sterilization method. And since I'm on the topic of pigs, we'll also just kind of talk about that's kind of why, we really haven't. The pig is evasive here in the state of California. But DFW has kind of figured out that a lot of people like pig hunting, they can make money off of it. So, way back when you could just buy like a booklet of tags, but now it's, I think it's like $25 a pig tag or something like that now. They have seen it as a revenue source. And so really they don't, if they really were caring about wildlife and keeping native wildlife safe, they would say, just kill pigs. Open season on pigs. All you need is a hunting license. That's what they would do. But they know that it's an extra revenue source. They really aren't going anywhere. Pigs are really hard to get rid of. And even, hunters, sterilization, poisoning, everything, which is poisoning is the next one, real fancy. All those things the pig will still be around. They're like cockroaches. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what sterilization is. They'd go around, they'd either castrate them or they'd figure out some chemical way to castrate them. By putting it in the water or their food source, some way, shape, or form. And then again, now you're talking about that on large scale. If the state has to do like a sterilization program for the entire state of California, that is so large scale. So if they decide to put it through the water system, are they putting that in every reservoir and every creek? If they do a chemical sterilization, or does that mean we're going to have to spend all this money to send out wildlife agents to go and castrate all these animals? That is insane. It is just not doable. It's impossible. It literally is impossible if you think logically. Okay, the third one, which we kind of, spoke about before, is poisoning. This one, obviously should scare the shit out of anybody. They're trying to throw rat poison on the Farallon Islands, which is about 20 miles off the coast of San Francisco. And what's happening is there's rats there. Obviously, rats there got there from ships long ago, all this stuff. And what's happening is they apparently are attracting these burrowing owls, which are then preying on the young seabirds that are being born there and stuff. And so they're worried about that. So what they want to do is they want to drop this rat poison, have the rats eat it, and then, the owls will go away. But, you can see that, you can go back to past operations like in Hawaii and stuff like that did these poisoning drops. It did not end well. It ended up killing seabirds, ended up, putting rat poison in the ocean. We're dumping it on an island. Are you fucking kidding me? We are dumping it on an island. It's going to go in the ocean and affect fish, affect marine life. And if you don't think that, you are, insane. You're illogical. And so, that compared to hunting is just, who can say that's better than hunting? For anyone who says that any of these three methods, which I'm telling you are the three methods that are used, there's no other ones. Please tell me other ways to do this. We can't just, the state, even if we, the people, even if me and you agree that we should just let everything go, the state and the government is not going to do that. That's just not the way they'll operate. and it's a resource that they need to control. And so that's what you also have to put in your head. It's, you get rid of hunting, it's not going to stop animals from being killed. It's not going to stop animals from being in pain. And hunting is a natural thing in an animal's life. It's a natural thing in a human's life. And so that's how we should be controlling our animal populations, the most natural way possible. And when we talk about getting rid of hunting, we talk about using these methods that are really intrusive, really step over the line, and do not end up well. They never end up benefiting us in the long run. It might solve it for the short run for a bit, but in the long run, we then go back and we go, fuck, we screwed up. That's always the way it goes. So keep that in mind. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. And, let me know if you're okay with this. I would like to kind of do the more political videos that I do, kind of like this, instead of just videotaping me talking. I mean, it's like I don't really have a good setting and stuff like that. I'm working and stuff. I got stuff to do. So let me know if you like this, and I'll start doing kind of political videos this way, kind of podcasty way, So anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.